Let's talk about the Nordic countries, otherwise known as the Union of Homogene Nations in the country wall universe, for reasons that are pretty obvious, but we are not going to talk about that in this video. Instead, we are going to throw dirt at these nations like how we always do on this channel. Starting off with Sweden. Sweden has many things like bad food, angry children, IKEA, bad food but worse, Minecraft and sword storming, which is like a radioactive canned fart that smells so bad that you can literally French kiss a skunk and you will still smell far better than that. But some fucked up people with some fucked up fetishes will say that it's a food item, and questionable fetishes shouldn't be a surprise given that the country in question is Sweden. But Hoifortards will say that it's a weapon of mass destruction which was developed for the sole purpose of being used against Russia in a wartime situation or against the Danes whenever they try to flex their 800-year-old flag. Despite all that, Sweden is an ironic nation because they once had everything and less than 5 minutes later they had nothing. Because somebody thought fighting Russia would be fun. So God blessed Russia with the worst winter in 500 years. And today the country is mainly known as a soy boy nation who can't even keep their pants on. For a highly developed nation, their crime rates are on par with underdeveloped nations, which is quite an accomplishment if you ask me. Next up, Denmark. The country is known for two L's, Lego and losing to Nono German in 6 hours. Take these two achievements away and you are left with Swedes trying to speak German while choking on a potato. But recently Denmark has been trending a lot because a certain idiotic orangutan started beefing with them over Greenland. And realistically speaking, what will Denmark even do if the USA attacks? Fight them with Lego warships? Well, honestly, you could take a loudspeaker and shout that there are only two genders and that will give American forces emotional damage. Wait, no, you shouldn't do that. It will be friendly fire because Danish forces will also get emotional damage. Because yeah, Denmark is more gay than America. So Denmark is cooked if a war breaks out. And since we are at it, let's talk about Greenland. But Afnan, Greenland isn't a country, right? No, you floppy-headed moron, it is a country. It's a country under the jurisdiction of a kingdom. The countries of Greenland, Denmark and Faroe Islands make up the Kingdom of Denmark. And as far as we know, the orangutan wants Greenland really badly, and as for the country itself, no data. Finland. A little known fact about Finland is that during the Second World War, the Finns joined hands with the Nono Germans and then they quickly changed sides when the Germans were losing the war. And people call Italy a traitor. Tisk, tisk, tisk. It's a country that is so introverted that even their cars need private space. Now granted that their food is dog shit and they're drunk on vodka half of the year, it's still a cool nation. Okay, that pun was unintentional. Anyways, Finland made Clash of Clans and Angry Birds, which is like everybody's childhood, and they also made Nokia. And legend has it that Thor's hammer was a Nokia phone attached to a handle. And you know, Finland at least has something good to talk about, unlike the last two nations on this list. Take Iceland for example. Only two types of people know about this country. People who watched or read Vinland Saga and geography nerds like me. It's a country that is so small and insignificant that people often forget that it even exists. Like their biggest achievement is winning the Cod Wars against the UK, and they didn't win because they are good at war. They won by being so tiny that their opponent literally forfeited. The British were like, hey yo bro, if we destroy the 5 tiny fishing boats of this puny little country, our reputation as the overlord of the 7 seas will be destroyed. And they backed off. That's how Iceland won the Cod Wars. And as for what makes the country unique, there are two things. 100% of their electricity comes from geothermal, and number 2, they eat rotten shark meat. And don't even get me started on Norway. It's a oil-rich petro state. It's literally the Saudi Arabia of Europe. Like they both are oil-rich states, both of them are sparsely populated, both of them bomb other countries, commit human rights violations, hates refugees, even though they are the ones who bomb their countries to begin with. But Afnan, isn't Norway a peaceful country? Oh hell! They literally jumped into every single war the US has been since the 1940s. They are US's little lapdog bootlicking its master. And they don't rank high in the happiness index because they are happy, they rank high because their unhappy people literally oof themselves. And those who don't oof themselves, they are oofing children in third world countries as stress relief. And whenever refugees from the countries they bombed or helped to bomb comes to their country, they forcefully take their children in the name of child welfare services. The reasons for taking those children away from them could be as massive as child abuse to as minor as feeding your own child with your own hands. Which is funny because it's not like we eat pizza or burger or wings with our own hands, and after all that they come up and act like goody two-shoes. Like bro, if the USA is the international police and Poland is the international embarrassment, then these guys are the international child muggers. To shame Norway, to shame. Sweden to some extent also does something similar minus the getting involved in America's wars part, but they sure do love stealing children from refugees. And if you enjoyed this video then subscribe and follow for more.